All right, folks, Puppy's World here once again. And I've got a short preview of a video here that I am going to be doing in the near future. I join you from our vacation home right outside of Fort Myers, Florida here. And we have just gotten here and realized that, well, we've got no TV set up, we've got no cable set up, we've got no surround sound set up, and I wanted to bring a projector with me, and I'd be crazy to bring my Epson, or you'd be crazy to bring something like a Sony 4K or a Wolf Cinema projector with you. So I brought something that was a little bit mobile. And what I brought that was mobile, this guy right here. For next to about 150 bucks, this guy is mobile. The sound comes right out of him. He's got two HDMI inputs, and, well, for 150 bucks, he can display quite a decent image. All my lights are turned on right now, by the way. It's daylight out, so you're not going to see a great image on the wall right now. However, we've got our screen to put up here in the near future. We could either mount our TV or do a screen. I think we're going to go with an Elite Screens or a Silver Ticket Screens from Amazon. It's this spackled wall. However, for the last couple of nights, we've just been watching the TV right on this. I'll turn the lights off for you if you want. So it's not that bad of a picture, guys, directly on the wall. At night, we've got no problem with seeing it. However, we've got an issue. I got no surround sound in here, never have. I think it's about time to add it. We've just been using the cable box for the time being to run an HDMI directly over to the projector, of course. But I'm going to show you. Got some stuff in the making here. I got a few cords and cables I can show you that we're going to go with, but this video more or less is going to be directed to, setting up a surround sound receiver, and then I'll go right after that and do a video on turntables for beginners, choosing items, connecting them, whatnot, where to get them and all that, and setting up turntables for beginners. So, all right, folks, we got our Marantz sitting there right now, a 7010, and we've got a little problem. We haven't chosen any speakers. Those speakers are not going to be here. Those are what has been sitting here for years. We're going to pull those guys out and put something decent in here. We're going to probably go with a 7.1 surround sound system, and then in the near future we might add a Dolby Atmos system, a 5.1.4. I don't think we're not going to go in-ceiling speakers or anything like that, but we might do two height channels at some point, or Dolby Atmos speakers. But we'll document that, and I'll post it soon. Okay, for those beginning, though, we've got an issue. We've got no surround sound set up here. We've got an odd sound stage, so we're going to have to calibrate stuff, and we're going to have to decide where our speakers are going to go. For surround sound, some basic, simple steps you should know. You're going to have a center channel where all your voices come out of, your left and your right front channel speakers, of course, for stereo mode, and then at least two surround speakers. Surround speakers should be placed right in the side of the listening position. So if you are sitting directly in the center of the couch right there, your surround sound speakers should technically be either, something like here, and there on the side. You don't want to put them necessarily behind you, or those would count as surround back speakers. Since we're probably going to be doing a 7.1 setup in here, we'll add a subwoofer, probably a velodyne. I don't have an SVS here, so we'll do a velodyne, and then of course, I had to do it, folks. I had to buy another set of SVS Prime speakers to add here. So we'll be adding a brand new center channel there. I've got some Q series we're going to add, and then of course, got an Epson. So we've got a Marantz nr1606 over there, brand new one. So we're going to be preamping him through here, but you're still trying to set up your surround sound system. You don't know where things should be. We talked about where the speakers should be, left, right. Center channel's got to go in the middle somehow, as it should be directed kind of at listening level, so at ear height level. Same with your other speakers too. All speakers should ideally be positioned at ear listening level. We talked about surround backs behind the couch, and then any heights or wide channels you can do with do what you please with those. But okay, got another issue real quick. The issue we have is, and I'll go ahead and pull them out. We've got an issue with outlet guides. There's only one outlet in this whole wall right here. Building codes said there should be one per every 6 to 8 feet, but there's one here. What are we going to do? So, got a problem. Two options. You can either add a power strip, an extension cord with multiple plugs, which I don't recommend, or you can go with a surge protector power center. Go with anything as small as something like this for your flat screen. It's got TV and cable sat here. That's all just about it's going to do though. Or you can go all out and do this. We have just decided to use a monster power center of mine. I've got quite a few of them, so I'm just going to go ahead and use one of these. As of course it's got the several outlets in the back. It'll accommodate all items we want to hook up into it. And it's even got a gold-plated ground port. Next thing is power, guys. You've got an option for power cables. Supplied from the factory, IEC, removable power cable that comes with the Marantz sr7010 and 7011. Even the nr1606, I don't know why that's on there, but here's what it looks like from the factory. I think we are going to use something a little bit better than that. What I think we're going to use is this guy, an AudioQuest XRG energy cable. Very, very, very different. Very nice if you want to compare the two chords. Much different here. Now, it won't make too much of a difference. However, for high current digital amplifiers like we have here, I prefer to use the AudioQuest. Now that you've picked your power supply, let's go with other connections. We have the back of our Marantz sr7010 here, and we need to choose a few things here. We need to choose some speaker cables. You all have seen my AudioQuest Type 4, Type 2, Rocket 33s, Rocket 44s, so we're going to be choosing speaker cables. We will do that in the next video. I will choose them, install them, post them, and publish them as to what I've gone with, and then my final setup. Okay, next thing, we need analog cables. You've got a few options, and we need HDMIs. Guys, you've seen the HDMIs. I can compare them in the future, but I'm probably going to go AudioQuest Vodka here, since this is going to be a 4K setup in here, eventually. We're not going 4K just yet, as we're using the cheap projector, but we will use our Epson 3020 in here, which is not 4K as well, so we'll stick with a generic HDMI cable for the time being. That'll work just fine. Another thing is, though, we want our surround sound to work with our cable, of course. So that is not going to work. What you're going to do is take your HDMI cable that's leaving your cable box, and you're going to go into your receiver, of course. So we'll do that, but then we're going to need a decent HDMI cable going from the receiver to our display. We're lucky. We have 2 monitor outs here with an audio return channel, but we also have a zone 2. The significance to the zone 2 in this receiver will be this. Now, it would be nice, and it is nice, to watch a movie in the family room there with the wife. And let's say when you're thinking about going to bed or ending the night, to continue the same movie right where you left off, or listen to the same music right where you left off in another room here. That is why I'll hook up the zone 2. We've got our, I got my IKEA drapes up here right now, but they're not working out in terms of length, so we're going to have to go with something else for the time being, which is fine. We'll do those things shortly after. Okay, though, we've got our setup right here, existing, and we need to add surround sound. That is why I'm going to zone this Marantz sr7010 into this room, folks. I'm going to run an HDMI cable directly into the wall through here, and that's going to pop out here. It's going to run kind of under the bed so you don't see it, but I will install this soon and post them and tell you guys what I have figured out and how I have worked the zoning issues so that we're able to pick up audio and or movies and TV in this room directly where we left off as a zone 2. You'll still be able to hear the same audio in that room, however, yeah, we'll figure it out. So we've talked about our zoning, we've talked about some of the cables we've used, we haven't talked about the HDMIs of the speakers yet, but guys, I'm just going to show you a short preview as to what some videos are next to come. As I said I would, do a video on turntables for beginners. I will. I'll compare some of the speakers used, I'll compare some of the turntables, of course, like I already have, but more or less this is about how to set them up, where to set them up, and what to do with them. What items to buy, where to get them from, and what you should pay. So there's some no-nos here, as I've talked about before. Never store your records like that on top of each other. I've got them just like this because we've kind of brought a few over here. Never store them like that. They can actually warp like this, so you want to store them vertically up and down. Get a bookshelf that can do that. And you want a solid wood surface for them to sit on. Any vibrations could have caused that to, make a sound. So you don't want anything to vibrate here. And then we've got our audio equipment set up right here, of course, with a bunch of different things. Of course, I brought my Parasound over here, guys, for the time being. We'll be here for a few months. But I'll do this, do a turntable for beginners video soon, guys, and then we'll get back to our sr7010. So I will show you what HDMIs and speaker cables we're going to go with at some point, but we're going to figure out universal remote. So we'll show you that in the next video, guys, but thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and I will be back with more from Puppies.